Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
With the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's our game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers. Hooked on the brothers. Yo, you're in for a treat, so hang on to your seat.
Nostalgia at its finest, guys.
Absolutely. Captain Lou Albano.
Oh, absolutely. It's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Yank This, the premier Yankee show brought to you by the Fired Up Sports Network. My name is Joe Algieri. Along with me, Chris, on the bottom part, we got Tommy. Gentlemen, welcome back after a week off of a much-needed vacation for everybody. What's going on?
Yankees are losing baseball games again, and I don't like to say it now, but of course, we just came off the 7-game streak.
I guess they all came back down to earth.
Yeah,
it's just just crazy, guys, just crazy the things that I read. Anyway, so let's talk about it, guys. Still, we're in June, okay? The Yankees, to much ado of our good friend Race Marsh, the first to 40 wins. Not like that really means anything, but it's it's fun to say. Still the best record in baseball by a pretty substantial margin, especially we have a nice size lead,
especially over everybody in our division.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, and by no means am I taking it lightly, because our division is coming on, right? The Blue Jays are starting to play better. The Rays are always going to be the Rays, and a team we wrote off, and the Red Sox, here they come.
Yep.
But guys, let's talk about it. What has stood out as far as, what do you guys think has been the catalyst to, again, another almost double-digit winning streak?
Honestly, I feel like it's been a combination of everything just clicking for all of our guys. The bats have been hot for most of that streak. We scored 3 or more runs in every game during that streak, but one, where we won 2-1. It's just a really good time to be a Yankee fan right now. We're just able to make contact. We're able to hit for power, and our pitching has been storied this year. So it's a little bit of everything. But this streak in particular, I think it's just been our bats woke up at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy, I know that you've been dying to try to make a trade, man, but this team is not making it easy for you. Even the guy that you were trying to get rid of for a bag of nickels last week, he's starting to show life. And you said it last night in the chat. What a hose to throw Urshela out at the plate last night.
Hicks has been good, man. Been getting better. Not good, but getting better than what he was doing for us and what he has been doing for us. Very patient at the plate, always has been. Getting some hits and playing some good defense. That throw last night, granted, we lost the game by a substantial amount, but that was a good play at that point to keep it at a low score, right? So it's good to see him producing. And yeah, I don't have no trade, guys. Get back right now. I don't want to touch nothing.
It's
still looking for Juan Soto trained packages. Tommy mentioned.
No, please. The pipe dreams that's going on with this guy. I'll be honest with you. One thing that I know we've always been breaking chops about trades. I keep seeing more and more a talk of a particular trade, and I really, really hope they don't pull the trigger on this. It is a move for Contreras,
Wilson Contreras, yeah,
with the Cubs. Yeah, listen, so many people the problem is that you have a lot of fair weather fans that really don't understand the game of baseball, and they have no idea how important Trevino and Higgy has been to the success of this pitching staff. So, is it something you're really worth you want to rock the boat with that? I don't, personally.
I might. Like I said a couple weeks ago, I am absolutely comfortable with getting somebody like Higgy off, just because he was supposed to be our everyday starter. He was Cole's guy in particular, and now Cole's pitching right tonight. Trevino's behind the plate for the 5th straight start for him. So I feel like Higashioka is expendable. If we can get somebody with the bat of Contreras, I think that would be cool. But I do see where you're coming from when it comes to a team chemistry standpoint. Maybe right now is not the best time to make the move, but I wouldn't be opposed if we did.
Also, but who are we giving up though in this deal? It's gonna be
I
more than just
assume if we're getting Contreras, I assume Higashioka is going to be a part of it. Andujar, who already asked for a trade, would probably be a part of it.
Andujar being our left fielder next year once Gallo's done. I would keep Andujar.
I mean, but here's my thing. I'm actually like right now. I'm pulling up Contreras' stats, right, and he's not doing
That's what
much
I'm
better at the plate than
like
guys. He's got, you know,
He and
he's got
Trevino
more
are very
power.
similar. He and Trevino have been very similar this year in WRC+.
The difference is right now. The difference is the home runs. Trevino having 2. You know, Trevino has 2, and Wilson Contreras has 10. But Trevino has a better batting average. You know, RBIs. You know, whatever, bottom of the order, and it helps that Trevino's batting 8, 9 in an order, where Contreras in that Cubs lineup is batting 3, 4. So you're going to have more opportunities to drive runs in.
Well, the Cubs have been trying to get rid of Contreras because they are so dead set on how good Seiya Suzuki is going to be in the future. So I feel like that's why they're trying to move off him. But I see,
catcher?
Seiya, yeah, he plays catcher.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought he was. I thought Suzuki was strictly an outfielder. I could be wrong. I thought Seiya Suzuki was strictly outfield. He's been injured. He has.
Yeah.
He catches?
I saw he did some catching in spring training this year.
Oh, I didn't know that either, Joe.
Yeah. He did some catching during spring training this year.
Yeah, no, I was like,
so I guess they want to groom him, but hey, that's the only way I could see them dead set on moving Contreras. But like I said, Higashioka, I love the guy, but he's hitting 111 in June. And Trevino is very clearly going to be the guy if he can keep this up in the postseason, to the point where I don't think Higashioka is going to get a start in the postseason.
Oh, you know what? Like I said, I'll take the 111. We're winning games, right? There's an old expression: winning is the best deodorant, right? You don't worry as long as you're winning. You don't give a shit about anything. Keep winning.
Yeah.
When you see the losses start to pile up, like if you were to go on like a 5, 6, 7 game losing streak, for argument's sake, yeah, then you're going to start to see
pulling
angels. You're going to start pulling that's crazy. You know, it's just whatever. I love it. There's a battle right now going between Eric McKenna and Grace Marsh in the comments. Yeah, I said it. I'll take it. 111. But his defense and what he does, his framing ability behind the plate is unbelievable. And you know what? It's funny that a Mets fan is saying that. You want to talk about, look at the difference of what a catcher does. Chris Bassett, without McCann behind the plate, has been absolutely putrid. He's gotten toasted in his last 2 starts without, it's almost like a 7-run difference in his ERA without McCann in the back. A good catcher who knows how to call a game and frame a game is phenomenal. That's why people like Yadi Molina have played the game so long. Pudge had phenomenal career because these guys were unbelievable. I mean, yes, they have the stick to go along with it.
I was going to say Pudge was a very, very good hitter.
But he was, when you think Pudge Rodriguez, the first thing coming to your mind is his defense.
Yeah.
It wasn't his bat, because he wasn't even the best hitter on his team, because he was on the teams with like Juan Gonzalez, A-Rod, and all those guys,
True enough. And even in the later half of his career, he was on a team with like Miggy and on those Tigers teams.
Right. No, absolutely. But there's a big part to this team that we haven't mentioned yet, right? We've gone now 10 minutes, guys, and we haven't mentioned the name yet. Aaron Judge. All rise. I mean, this guy has been absolutely insane. What is there left to say about this guy that we haven't already? The MVP campaign continues, and we've discussed it in the background about throw the checkbook at this guy, but we're coming up on a very important day very soon that might play a very big part in if Mr. Judge signs with the New York Yankees. And that's arbitration day. And we're going to discuss that in just a few. All right. Chris, walk us through it. Walk us through this arbitration, buddy. What is,
Well, arbitration, when you get drafted to a team, you get, your standard contract, your 4-year contract, and then you go through 3 years of arbitration to the point where you're basically under team control. And Judge has reached the end of that, and we are trying to get him on that last year of arbitration before we got to give him that big hefty deal. Same with Joey Gallo. We're probably gonna let Gallo walk, but Judge is a guy that can kind of demand anything, and arbitration is a way to where we don't have to pay a exorbitant dollar amount for him. It's pretty much a league and PA kind of deal to where you could shake hands on. If he wants 40 million, well, we can give you 25 right now. That's what the league is kind of asking for, and then we can move on. But at this point, I think Aaron Judge is kind of at the point of pay me or I'm walking.
Right. I mean, Tommy, how do you?
Because he's definitely gonna have suitors.
I mean, the funny part about this, Tommy, is now like the Yankees have to go before a judge and kind of justify why Aaron Judge doesn't deserve $22 million for this season.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is it even like, how does that happen?
I don't know how we let it get here. This deal should have been done before the season started. The old Yankee brass wouldn't have cared about the extra 2 years on the contract, okay? They wouldn't have. Let's be real, right? George was here. Judge is signed, all right? And we know that. That's how it was. That's how they used to do things. Now it's different with this new ownership, with the Suns taking over. They don't do what they used to do. So if you got to extend the extra 2 years to get this guy on your team, why wouldn't you want a guy's batting 315 with 24 home runs and like almost 50 RBIs? Like, what are we doing? Don't want to sign this guy for the next 10 years? I don't know. I think you got to find a way to get it done. Obviously, going to arbitration, but this should have been done preseason.
Yeah, I mean, so my question is this, and I'm not going to pretend to be a baseball agent, right? Or for the Yankees. So we've said it time and time again. It was never about the money with Aaron Judge. It was all about the years, right? Why not front load the contract? Front load the contract so that you give him the 8 years he wants, but those last 3-4 years aren't a huge cap hit.
Aren't albatrosses.
Yeah, like that, where like you're gonna have albatrosses right now, with with Cole, with Stanton, you're gonna have all of those, and it's whatever. I mean, Eric, you're saying that another horrible contract the Yankees will take on if they give Judge a max-year deal. Giancarlo Stanton is batting damn near 300. Cole is looking back to being Cole. Listen, here's the thing. At the end of the day, give me one world championship, right?
I was going to say the exact same thing. Give me 2-3 World Series runs where we win 2 of them, and I'll suffer for 5 years.
I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I'm a spoiled Yankee fan. I've seen my team win more in my lifetime than most people have seen in their entire lifetime who are double my age. I get that, but it's like, I'm just curious about how, how it's going to play out, as far as, a move is definitely going to be made as far as whatever. And I know we're talking about like Gallo getting out of left field. It's they're going to make a move. And I think the trade deadline is going to be a huge point to look at how serious they are about signing Judge in the offseason. Because if they go make a big splash and get a Juan Soto, there's no chance they're signing Aaron Judge.
Well, would you make that trade off for, like, if we have this season, we somehow, some way make this Juan Soto, Aaron Judge on one team type of thing for this season, and then let Judge walk next season? would you prefer Soto in right field over Judge?
No. I
No?
mean, listen, even
It's a
though
lefty
like,
bat. It's a power
no,
bat, and he gets on base
I,
a shit
so
ton. Like,
so here's the thing, right? You guys are both big Yankee fans. Name me the last Yankee power bat, lefty power bat that's come in here and actually taken advantage of right field. I'll tell you who it is. Nobody. The last lefty hitter to come in and really take advantage was Curtis Granderson, and
I
he
was about to
wasn't
say Granderson.
exactly Prince Fielder when he got here. We made
No,
him
that's
look
very
like
true.
Prince Fielder, but it's like it's not. Sometimes the move that looks like it makes the most sense may not necessarily make the most sense.
Yeah,
If
I
that
would.
makes sense.
The Yankees' best move, right? No move as of right
Correct.
today.
No,
Correct.
yeah. And if
You know,
anything,
as
if anything, a rental. If you can get that 1 year for Benintendi, so you don't got to pay somebody down the line, just give the money to Judge.
right. Yeah.
There's no way I make a deal for Soto or thinking about it. Not happening. Not right now. I don't get me wrong. I love Juan Soto. That kid's phenomenal. Lefty bat in that stadium would kill it. But I want to bring Judge back. Now, if you can sign Judge and he leaves and goes back home to the West Coast for whatever reason doesn't want to be here, or the Dodgers or the Angels or whatever team offers him 10 years and we don't, then okay. Then if you want to put a star-studded package of all our great young guys that we have in the minor leagues to get Soto, then that's a different story. In the offseason, you don't do it now. You're 40-20. You don't make that move now.
Well, and I'll tell you what, the Washington Nationals right now are in absolutely no rush because Soto's not having a great year, guys. He's not. Mind you, he has no protection in that lineup. He has absolutely nobody protecting him in that lineup. So pitchers aren't exactly like rushing to the mound to throw, Juan Soto a fastball for him to hit it 400 feet. But the guy's batting 230. So he's going to have to turn it around to really get back a little bit of the value I feel like he's lost. It's just, but again, it's playing on a bad team, but there's also a lot of guys that play on a bad team that produce. So it just goes to show you, like, is he mentally not there or whatnot? And we've seen it time and time again. New York is not for everybody.
It's not for the mentally weak.
No, it is not. I mean, listen, we've seen plenty of guys come here that were supposed to be great. Javier Vasquez, Randy Johnson,
Pavano.
If you hit,
Carl
Pavano, Hideki Arabu, like all these people that we brought in that just like are supposed to be like, oh my God, I can't believe we signed him, and they've absolutely crapped the bed, and then they go back to somewhere else, and they're back to their normal. Kevin Brown. When we signed Kevin Brown, I'm like, holy shit, we got Kevin Brown, one of the best pitchers in the major leagues. He came here, and I was like, please get rid of this guy fast, fast, in a hurry.
Look at AJ Burnett after that World Series run.
Yeah, it's just like it's crazy, man. Like, but it's nuts. It's very Sonny Gray. That's another one. That was oof, God.
How's Sonny Gray doing right now?
He's actually not. He's not pitching bad. He pitched very well. He pitched very well in Cincinnati. Sonny Gray right now. Here, I'll get you.
Is he not in Minnesota
right now? He is in Minnesota. We avoided pitching to him. Luckily for him. But let's see. Sonny Gray right now has got a 2.41 ERA, a 0.98 WHIP. Through 33 2/3 innings, 7 starts. He's 3-1.
That's not bad.
I mean, it's crazy.
Not bad at all.
But so yeah, it's very, very good. So Minnesota Twins are in house, right? We see a couple of familiar faces. Mr. Urshela, Mr. Sanchez. I find it funny, guys. Did you see the stat the other night? Up until that game the other night, Gary Sanchez had 0 passed balls. 0. He plays the Yankees and has 5 in one game. Is it just seeing the uniform?
It's seeing the pinstripes.
Did he have like PTSD? Like, what happened there?
Forgot what team he was playing for.
Just
Yeah.
his heart is still in the Bronx. He was trying to help us
Yep.
out any which way possible. Listen, a couple of those weren't his fault. That pitcher was holding on to that changeup. Yeah, but it's
Yanking it,
crazy.
yeah.
Oh, crazy. But let's talk about we just spoke about it. We mentioned it. We're gonna get into the rotation now, guys. It's been a big part. I know you got your notes ready, Tommy. You're gonna lead us off on this one. So we're gonna get into the rotation, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that in just a few. Yes, the fourth sport. I know. I don't even. So, guys, when you're commenting on Facebook, okay, just please add StreamYard as an app on your Facebook so we could actually see your name. I don't even need to know who this user is. I know this is the man of the fourth sport, the host of our hockey show here on the Fired Up Sports Network. This is JT. He's rooting on his boys tonight. JT, let's go Rangers, buddy. As long as Double A, his head will spin. As whatever it takes for an Islanders fan head to implode. We still have the AA stroke on air pool going, so hopefully that will come to fruition one of these days. But yeah, Tommy, rotation, buddy. Where are we?
We're the best in baseball. Still not close. If you want to say when Brown and Scherzer can go back with the Mets, they can be up there, obviously. But right now, we are the best rotation in baseball. It's not even funny. A little bit of a speed bump last night with Nasty Nestor, but let's be honest, it was bound to happen, right? Give up some runs at the start. I mean, the guy can't pitch to a 1.64 ERA, guys, the whole year. Let's be real, right? What they're doing as a staff is never. I don't know if it's been seen like 260. What they're doing, it's unbelievable.
Crazy.
In front of me, but I know they're really, really good. But like I said, that's 75% of what we're doing right now is because of our rotation. I would say another 25% is our hitting. I think it's that strong. No one thought that our guys would have these numbers. It's just, no one's pitching higher than a 5 ERA. Come on, it's crazy. No one's seen this coming. Nobody.
No, I read an article today. I was reading on ESPN, and they did the power rankings, right? So Yankees 1, Dodgers 2, Mets 3. Those are the top 3 teams in baseball. Personally, I would flip flop the Mets and the Dodgers, and it's not being a New York basis, but I do feel like the Mets, and leave it to the Mets to have really an unbelievable season with missing a couple of their best players, right? And just to be overshadowed by the Yankees performing even better, right?
Yep.
But they said that this was the team, the way that they're performing this year was the team that everyone thought was going to be last year. They were like, this was the juggernaut that we expected to see last year, but now it's this year. And again, we've spoken time and time again, the pitching has a lot to it. I think that, the change in mentality going from, the biggest thing that the Yankees never used to do was produce runs. We're producing runs. We're running more than I have ever seen the New York Yankees run. Heads up baseball, smart running, smart on the base paths, unless you want to talk about Aaron Hicks.
Anthony Rizzo's got a couple stolen bases, and I was not expecting that this year.
It's just crazy. Like they're really, they're really playing baseball the right way. But like you said, Tommy, the rotation is super, super important right now. It's a little hiccup. I don't as per usual, you get a lot of these Yankee fans like, oh my God, he fell off a cliff. He came back down.
He's coming down to earth. Yeah.
Yeah, says came back down to earth. No, he's not down. He did not come back down to earth. He had a little hiccup. Chris is blaming me because I mentioned it 2 weeks ago that he was due for a bad start. Whatever, put it on me. I'll take this. I'll take this loss, guys. Nestor is not. I think he's going to compete at that level the rest of the year? No. Eventually, that's the beauty of baseball. It's a very cerebral sport. He's going to have to adjust to the hitters as the hitters adjust to him. So they're starting to see, and It is what it is.
You got to remember last year, we had Corey Kluber on this roster who threw a no hitter and then fell off the face of the planet.
And now he's in Tampa Bay performing right back to Corey Kluber numbers.
Yep, but we also didn't have Severino last year for a majority of the season. He only came in September. So this juggernaut of a team that we were supposed to have last year never really got healthy enough to where we could be that full power juggernaut team. And right now, at least in the starting rotation and in the lineup, we've been able to do that.
Yeah, and I think, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the biggest part, again, not to keep going back to it, but I think the biggest difference from last year to this year, because like you said, a couple of pieces are different in our pitching rotation, but for the most, our core was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery, Tyone, Nestor, and Cole were there. Those four were there. The difference being Severino. I think that last year, the problem really was getting comfortable with the catcher. You had Gary Sanchez, who is not exactly a great framer or defensive catcher, okay? And they were trying to get Higgy into the lineup for those reasons. And now this year, they've taken a step back. They said, screw it. I don't give a shit about offense from the catcher. You worry about it. We'll carry you. We'll take care of you. And, their defense, I read today that the Yankees are the number one team in the league for defensive runs stopped by the infield, and they have the most runs saved, particularly by third base.
Yeah, because they're rotating out Donaldson and LeMahieu over there.
And both of them play phenomenal defense. They really do. That play a couple days ago was was sick. I don't know how he kept that ball in his glove. Donaldson.
The Donaldson catch, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Well, that
goes back to Torres again reinventing himself, going back to second base. Rizzo being the defensive stud that he is at first, and DJ sliding in where we need him to.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Tommy. I mean, I don't see any spider tack, comments lately. I feel like those posts have all gone away, right? It's everyone for the first couple weeks of the season were all over Garrett Cole, saying, "Hey, get the spider tack out." I would have CVS Uber orders in my inbox saying, "Hey, bring this to Yankee Stadium." We don't see that anymore. I mean, what is the biggest change? I mean, as far as his stuff, because he's always had the stuff. It's just what he do to
he's not nitpicking no more like he was early in the year. I think he was trying to be too perfect, okay? And when your stuff is that good, when your fastball's 98, slider's filthy, you mix and change, I think he's trying to be too precise, too perfect. He's trying to hit corners, paint corners. Don't. Go out there and be Garrett Cole, man. Just dominate. Play with your fastball. Throw that nasty slider on 1 and 2. You don't got to just go out there and blow him away. You're that good. Fancy. I think he just stopped doing that. I think he's been really good ever since. That's what I see.
Yeah. I agree.
People thought Garrett Cole was all of a sudden a bad pitcher without the spider tack, and they're quickly seeing how wrong they were.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And guys, we just put up on the bottom on the ticker, the updated standing as well as the upcoming schedule, and we're going to get into that schedule in just a bit. All right, so this has got to be a Mets fan, right? It has to be. This has got to be McKenna. This has to be. There's no. It's just ignorance. I mean, a comment like that is just pure ignorance.
Us saying anything about that comment, to be honest, it makes zero sense.
Yeah, I'm not acknowledging that. I'm not. Yeah,
a comment like that is just absolutely pure ignorance, and it's just and then they wonder why. That's what it is. I'm actually checking because that person doesn't have StreamYard as the app on there. So I'm going onto the live feed on my phone because I want to see personally what idiot posted that. It's got to be a Mets fan. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. I know it's a Mets fan. I just have to figure out which dummy it was. Eric McKenna. Perfect. Yes. All right. The most useless of them all. Anyway.
No, Garrett Cole is absolutely still one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he's just been outstanding aside from his 3 starts. Even in his 1 loss on the season, he pitched 8 innings and had just a bad final inning where he gave up the home run against Baltimore. Other than that, he's been outstanding for the last month and a half.
Well, you know what, guys? I just realized all three of us watched the intro, and we have yet to mention a name that was included in the intro.
Super
Can
Smash
we
Bros.
talk about? Can we
Matt
talk about
Carpenter.
Luigi himself, Mister Matt Carpenter? I mean, what a little like. Listen, I get it. Diamond in the rough has had a great career playing with St. Louis, but has the swing for Yankee Stadium, man. Let me tell you, and he seems to fit right in.
Every time the bat hits the ball, I'm thinking that's 370 and into deep right field.
And you would never think it looking at him because he really does look like Luigi, guys.
Mm-hmm.
He really does. Like the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah, he just hits nothing but home runs. He, like you said, he's got a swing built for Yankee Stadium, and you know what? He's still a smart baseball player. There was a play a couple of games ago where they had the shift on and he just bunted. I think it was during that 13-0 game where he just bunted.
I still, for the life of me, I will never understand why more players don't do that. But I'm telling you, Tommy, I know we've had this argument before. I promise you, Joey Gallo will be a 280 hitter next year. I promise you.
Okay.
Take it to the bank.
Okay.
Buddy,
he could be a 280 hitter. It won't be here.
That's fine. And I'm just going to revel in the fact that, I was right, because when you take away that shift, I'm telling you, there are a couple of guys in this league that are going to become friggin' deadly at the plate.
On the show, as Chris and everyone else is my witness, if Joey Gallo waits, I will take you to any steakhouse you want to go to.
Deal.
That's a deal. That's a deal. But going back to what we said earlier, I was so excited when we got Joey Gallo on this team. It was a lefty power bat that I thought would do really well, and he just hasn't. And then it goes back to Granderson being the best guy that we've gotten in years.
Don't sleep on Gallo yet. Tommy's already his bed is in the background. Tommy's ready to go to sleep on Gallo.
I took a 2-hour nap already on Gallo.
I know.
The shift doesn't matter when you strike out 45% of your at bats.
Yeah, you're on siesta time over there with Mr. Joe Gallo. It's crazy. But guys, we're gonna get into the schedule now. I mean, we have. Listen, you get the people. Oh, they've beaten the Tigers. They've beaten this. These are the teams, guys, that we didn't beat the last couple of years, and the reason why, like, we've lost out on home field and this. So the good teams beat the bad teams. That's how life works, right? Mm-hmm. You beat what's in front of you, and the Yankees have done a very good job. I think they've lost all of 2 series the entire season, but we're going to get into the the schedule in just a few. All right, Tommy's still doing his mannequin challenge. He is completely frozen. Way to go, Tommy.
Sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry. Listen, we can hear you. That's all that matters. So just keep talking. It's fine. The video will eventually catch up. But guys, at the bottom, we got the Twins tonight, Garrett Cole. Then we got the Cubs. We got the Rays. We got the Blue Jays. We got the Rays. That is a 9-game stretch. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, you mentioned the Astros right after that.
We got Houston right after that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's going to be a tough 12-game stretch, guys, against teams that are performing super, super well. Historically, we do not do well against the Rays for some reason. They don't have a single superstar on their team, minus Wander Franco. And
I don't know. G-Man Choi turns into the best player in baseball.
Well, that's only when he's playing. That's only when he's playing against Garrett Cole. But somehow these guys are, they're 33 wins, and it's like, personally, I think, and someone said it earlier today. I don't remember who. I think, with the exception of the Orioles, I think the rest of the teams in the AL East make the playoffs this year. I think 4 teams out of the AL East make the playoffs.
With how bad Chicago's played, I could see it.
I can't believe that was my pick to win. That was my pick to win the World Series, man.
The White Sox?
Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah, with how bad Chicago has played this year. I mean, it's still early in the season. They still have time to turn it around, and
But they
teams
got
still have time to
crushed with
collapse.
injuries.
Yeah.
Tommy, you were saying something? Sorry about that.
Okay, buddy, I was just saying that I think 3 of the teams make it: Yankees, Rays, and Jays. I don't think Red Sox get in.
Okay. I mean, listen.
What do you think is the outlier for the Red Sox? What do you think kicks them out? Is it the rotation? Is it inconsistency?
It's got to be pitching. It has to be pitching. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's got to be pitching because their pitching is. I mean, it's right now. You're talking about hanging in there with the rotation that has Rich Hill and Michael Wacha in it. I mean, listen, Michael Wacha just threw a complete game shutout the other night, but like, how much do you think that you're really going to get out of those two? You know, Garrett Whitlock looks to be like a solid pitcher for the next decade. Evaldi,
Sale,
and Sale is like the big mystery, right? You don't know what you're getting from him because he's a big, lanky. Like, I'm curious to see another lefty coming back from injury is Kershaw. He's supposed to be coming off the injured list soon. Like, those guys that have a lot of moving pieces when they're pitching, you know, as they get older, like, you get stiffer, man. Like, listen, I don't feel the same way I felt like when I'm 20, and I'm by no means am I a professional pitcher. You know, so I can imagine what these guys feel like on a day-to-day basis.
You gotta imagine the damage that the already injured, repaired elbow is taken when he's got one of the most nasty sliders in baseball. You gotta imagine the damage that arm has taken over the years is going to start to pile up now that we're here, you know, a decade in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But let's talk about, you know, guys. So let's be, you know, let's channel our inner Nostradamus. Okay.
All right.
We got 15 games coming up. You know, let's exclude tonight's game. We got 3 against the Cubs. We got 3 against the Rays, 3 against the Blue Jays, another 3 against the Rays. Where do you see us sitting after these 15 games?
15.
Yeah, so it's you know, so we have four series, right? You know,
so that's 12. That's 12 games.
I'm sorry,
Unless
12.
you want to count
the
the four game with Houston.
Hey,
let's, you know what? That's what it is. Let's add the Houston game and the Houston series into there because that's another team that historically we do really bad against.
Yeah.
So
I'll be 10-5. Good mark.
10-5.
That's a good mark.
That is. I mean, listen.
Cubs at home. Cubs at home for 3. Rays at home for 3. At Toronto for 3. At the Rays for 3. Okay.
And then home at Houston for 4.
At home against Houston for 4.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, if we go 10-6, get played.
Listen, you go 10. You go 10-6 in that Tommy. You go 10-6 in that stretch. You really put a stranglehold on this division, like a real, like legitimate stranglehold.
And me saying 10-6 is not not a pipe dream. Like, I think we can definitely do that.
No, absolutely. You know, 10-6 we would finally reach, you know, where everybody else is, and finally have, you know, the loss column start with a 2. You know,
Chicago is clearly the easiest series coming up, and that's our next series. But
those are the ones that, you know, and those are the ones that we usually lay down to because ones, it's like, like we usually, those are the ones we always screw up for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, but then we got the Tampa, Houston. I think if we can split 8-8, I think that is fine. As long as we don't go under 500, I'd be happy. 8-8, 9-7 is about where I would expect. Just because Houston is just annoying. They have a really good lineup. Their pitching is still outstanding. It's a 4-game series, and of course the rotation isn't out there yet. We're probably gonna have to see Verlander, who is still just 12 strikeouts, season high 12 strikeouts in his last start. He's still insane.
Right. So hold on, I'll do it. Ray, say it with me. Cy Verlander. The guy just doesn't give up, man. You know, he only pitches bad against the Seattle Mariners. I don't understand why, but that just apparently the Seattle Mariners have figured him out. I don't know if it's because they're a division team, but he is it's unbelievable watching him. What he does.
40 years old, coming off of Tommy John, you shouldn't be able to do that.
No, absolutely not. You have 30-year-olds coming off of Tommy John that can't do that. So
that are never the same.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. You know, it makes you appreciate. You know, it makes you appreciate these older guys that that are coming to the end of their career. You know, and again, who knows nowadays because Tom Brady has changed everyone's mentality as to what the end of your career is because he's going to play. Like. He's gonna play till he's 113. But it's just it's crazy, and he is absolutely unbelievable. But guys, we were talking about something earlier, okay? And I want to get your opinion on this. Off Yankee topic. We're gonna go off Yankee topic right now, right? So we're gonna go around the horn. Manny Machado came out the other day and made a comment stating that he felt that Albert Pujols is being super disrespected right now by not getting a farewell tour, right? He said that it was given to the likes of Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, David Ortiz, just to name a few. And I agree with him. I think that Pujols is arguably one of the greatest hitters we've ever seen in our lifetime, and I think he does deserve the farewell tour. What do you like? Thoughts? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, it was just something I happened to catch, and it's been catching some steam the last few days.
No, absolutely. He's arguably a top 20 to 25 player to ever play the sport, and he is one of the greatest power bats we've seen. I think the fact that he didn't play in the largest markets like a Boston or New York kind of maybe is a reason for that, because he played in St. Louis, then he played on the Angels, which it's Los Angeles, but it's Anaheim. It's not the Dodgers. He played a season for the Dodgers, but way past his prime, and now he's back in St. Louis. He's a legendary player who is beloved all around the league, but I think the fact that he wasn't in a major market is the reason why he's not getting the attention he deserves, along with the fact that Yadier Molina and Waino have also come out and said that this is going to be their last season. So it's a lot going on in St. Louis. I believe they all deserve that farewell tour, but I understand why it's not necessarily as big as the Jeters, Riveras, and Poppies.
Yeah, but I mean, Tommy, can you really put? We're talking about Waino, Yachty, and Pujols, right? One of those things are not like the other, right? Although Waino and Yachty are greats, I'm taking nothing away from them. Waino gave me one of my greatest memories, a curveball that struck out Carlos Beltran at the plate. Okay. I will forever love him for that. Right. I have a meme for the rest of my life because of Adam Wainwright. Right. Yadier Molina, one of the best defensive catchers ever to play the game. You don't run on Yachty. But then there's Albert Pujols. He's in another league of player. Like it's stupid what he did. And I just think that, and St. Louis is not for nothing. St. Louis is not that small of a market when it comes to baseball. They might have some of the most passionate fans ever, and they're right there in world championships. I mean, I don't know, Tommy, maybe I'm wrong.
It's not the New York or Boston market.
Honestly,
though. Or the LA market.
I didn't know about those remarks. No one sees. I didn't know that there was comments made by Machado about how he feels those guys are getting affected. Okay, my take on it is Jeter got one, right? Mariano Rivera got one. Those guys played in New York and won how many rings? Pujols won one. Don't get me wrong.
Pujols won two.
One of the best hitters that
Pujols has got two.
Was he on that? He was on the Dodgers team? Oh no, he won two. Yeah.
He won.
Pujols has two with the Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken.
He won two in St. Louis, right? They won.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, technically he might be three.
He got two.
Wasn't he on the Dodgers team?
I love Pujols. I think he's one of the best hitters.
I think he was on the Dodgers.
Honestly,
last
I don't
year.
know. I really don't.
Yeah, he was only on.
I really don't. But listen,
he was only on the Dodgers last year, but he did get the 06 and 2011 ones in St. Louis.
All right,
so he's got two in St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay. Listen, the guy's phenomenal, but he played. First of all, he played way too long. Okay, that's right now. The guy hasn't produced in how many years?
Yeah, you could say like he
at
hasn't
least
been
3.
an elite guy in half a decade, maybe more.
Yeah, not even elite. Like not like he. If it wasn't, he wouldn't be anything. Numbers were 5 years. Listen, I don't have a problem with him not getting anything. If he got one, great. He's one of the greats. St. Louis should do something for him. Maybe not every team that he goes and visits, like Jeter got, but something maybe towards the end of the season from a couple different teams towards the end, and obviously something by St. Louis should definitely be done.
I mean, we talked about him earlier. Do we think Miggy's going to get a big retirement tour?
So I have a funny feeling Miggy is going to retire after this year and not allow anyone the chance of giving him.
Okay.
Because what does he got left to
There's
play?
nothing left. Yeah, there's nothing.
He's
left
got nothing left to do. I mean, I just looked. I've just pulled up Pujols' numbers just for a goof, right? Can we really see Pujols hitting another 17 home runs this year?
No. I could see him.
I mean,
10, 15, 17.
I mean,
he's
he's got 4 right now. He's 17 away from 700. He's got a career 296 batting average.
No,
listen,
I just don't see it.
You never say never, but it unlikely. Yes. So it definitely is unlikely. All right. So Tommy said 10-6. Chris, you said what? 8-8.
8-8, 9-7. Just because I think Houston's gonna probably win that series, just because they're annoying.
You're playing it safe, huh?
Yeah, I'll play 500. I'll play down the middle.
Listen, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
Well, either I'm wrong or I'm right. 50,
guys, I'm going 12. I'm going 12-4. I think personally, I personally think that they sweep both of the Rays. I think they take both series from the Rays.
After we just split the series,
I think that they take. You got to remember, you're going to have no Juan DeFranco, who played a big role there, and honestly, I just don't see it, man. I really don't. McClanahan has been pretty good. The rest of the pitchers have been subpar. They really have. The Rays have made a living the last few years of the starter or the opener, and it's just not working for them this year. It's just not like.
Well, they're missing a pretty big piece in Tyler Glass now.
Yeah, I mean that candle is just burning, and it's just Kittredge hasn't done well in the back end of the bullpen. I know he was out for a little bit, but I just don't see it. I think we take 2 of 3 from the Cubs. I think we sweep both of the Rays series, and I think we lose, and I think we lose the Astro series as well. I just think the way that if the pitching matchups line up the way they're supposed to, the Astros miss Cole, and we see
Verlander and Valdez.
We get Verlander, Valdez, and
Christian Javier.
If I think are Quiddy, but it's
a 4-game series, so yeah, we're going to see that,
right? So,
guys.
And then Odorizzi is due back as well. So, but let's transition. We're talking about that. What's up, Tom?
Go ahead, Tommy.
No, as I was saying, either 10-6, 11-5. I see us splitting against Houston. That's a 4-game set. I see us sweeping the Cubs at home, which we should. That starts off 3-0. I say we drop 1 against the Rays, Jays, and the Rays again. That's 6-1. And then we had to face 4. I think we're gonna go 11-5 would be ideal.
Yeah, like I said, we're not too far off. We're 1 game apart. But the big piece of this puzzle for us is going to be the piece that's been carrying us so far this entire season, and somehow, some way, we've made it to June, and Aaron Boone hasn't destroyed all of them yet, but he's on his way. Okay, we're talking about the illustrious New York Yankees bullpen. Okay, and we're going to talk about that and our new closer, who has moved up your rankings, Chris. But we're going to get into the bullpen in just a few. Yep, guys, bullpen. We've been decimated by injuries, but as on many good teams, people step up and take positions of new roles. Tommy, Clay Holmes. I mean,
Do you guys remember 3 weeks ago live when I was at Corum Bowl? Now, my pick for the closer role was none other than Clay Holmes.
Mhm.
That was the guy.
it was.
I said,
Yeah,
I thought Michael, even though he has that moxie and that energy, I thought Clay Holmes was the guy. He is the guy. And I'm telling you right now, if I'm Aaron Boone, there's no way when Chappie comes back that I'm taking Holmes out of that role. I'm not. He's been really phenomenal.
I agree. I think that when Chapman comes back, Holmes has to lose the role. I just that's what it's got to be like. He has to lose. It has to be his to lose at this point.
I see Chapman working his way back in, and the Yankees being up 8-2 in the ninth, or maybe down 6-1 in the ninth. I'm telling you, I don't see him coming in a major right off the rip when he comes back from his injury. It's going to be like up, or maybe even a 7th, 8th inning role, not that closer role. No way.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he definitely can't be put into a high leverage situation right out the rip. It's not gonna, it's just something about it. I don't know what it is about 100-mile-an-hour fastball pitchers in New York. They forget that they have a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but nowadays everyone has 100. My son, who's 11 months old, throws 100. So it's just like everyone throws 100 nowadays.
He's throwing 102 with movement.
He's throwing 102 and he's lefty.
Yeah,
sorry, not even 11 months. He's 11 weeks. I take that back. That's how burnt out I am.
Oh, so he's only throwing. So you're right. He's only throwing 100. We'll get to 102.
He's only throwing 100. At 11 months, he'll be at 101.
Yeah. But yeah, the bullpen has been outstanding. Even given the injuries, and honestly, we talk about trading for some arms. I honestly just think we need to wait for everyone to get back. A couple weeks ago, we talked about our 6 through 9 guys being out between Loizaga, Green, Britton, and Chapman. If we can get Loizaga, Britton, and Chapman back, and get rid of the Marinacios and the Litkes and the guys that just aren't. I'm against the Karate Kid. I'm against the Karate Kid
alone.
If we can get rid of those guys and just rest on the guys that we know are going to be our late inning type relief guys, I think we should be fine. I don't think we need to go out and get anybody because of how well guys like Peralta, King, and Holmes have played. We insert guys like Loizaga, Britton, and Chapman if they can play as well as we know they can. I think the bullpen should be solid enough.
Yep, I agree. Let's see what we
got.
Worry about doing anything.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just. Hold on, so I'm just trying to catch up on all the comments, guys, as we're talking. Let's see here. Hold on. Where are we? We have a lot of comments tonight. Yeah. Chris, that's your dad. Yeah, he's asking about the music in the background. Yeah, Fred, I put that there for a little, dead air killer. Just fills it in, and gets us pumped up. I forgot to start it earlier in the day, but it's there now. Yeah, I mean, it seems to be like, you can kind of see where Aaron Boone's plan is with the bullpen. If the game gets out of hand, he's turned into a Clark Schmidt just to pick up a couple of extra innings, the Michael King's like right there, and then it looks to be that his go-to move right now is going to be obviously Holmes in the ninth.
Wandy has played really well.
Yeah. Wandy Peralta's been, I almost said Wandy Rodriguez. Wandy Peralta's been really good. Miguel Castro's been very good still. You have a lot of really good arms, and I feel like they're all learning from each other, right? That's the one thing. If you notice during the games, you start to see Cole talking to Tyone. They're all talking now. And that, I think, is a big, attributing factor from guys like Rizzo, guys that have been brought in from other teams. Because Rizzo, the first time he was here, he was like, yo, this dugout is dead. Like, it's like, it's a graveyard. Like, there's no action. There's no anything. Like, talk to each other, just feed off of each other. And I think that's one of the big things is like these guys are talking to each other, that they're learning from each other. And, I think that's a big piece to being a great team,
I mean, let's
Yep.
really talk about the guy that's in charge of those arms. Is Matt Blake. He has been just a guy that inserted just an enormous amount of energy and confidence into the arms of this team.
No, absolutely, and you could definitely see it, man. It's just it's lively, and we used to get nervous with those 1-run games, those whatever. But this team is just, I don't know, I
It's
wouldn't say
different.
get nervous, but there's something different, and we could say that about both New York teams. There's something different about both the Yankees and the Mets this year. We joke around a lot about the Mets and how they're irrelevant and whatnot, but last year, if Alonso and Marte had suffered those injuries, somehow they would be out the rest of the season. Polar Bear would have been marked as dead. Now it's like, oh, I'll be back in a couple days. Like, it's just, it shows you like a different regime, a different coach, just switching up something like a pitching coach, how much it changes, the whole feng shui of the, But yeah, my wife was over here correcting me, guys. Apparently, I said that wrong, but whatever. I don't care. You know what I meant.
We got you.
Yeah. All right. So we got to pay some bills, right? Apparently I got it on. I have to send you guys your T-shirts. You haven't gotten them yet, but
Not yet, no.
for everybody else, right? Make sure you make your way on to firedupsportsapparel.com to get your T-shirts. You got your Judge bombs, your Stanton bombs, and they hit a lot of them. Unfortunately, we paired Rizzo with Gallo, but I'm holding out hope for Gallo. I am. I'm holding out hope for Gallo. This is going to be a big shirt. We know
The Italian Renaissance.
Yeah, the Guineas have taken over New York City, the Bronx. Okay, they're a little bit. They're a cab ride away from Arthur Avenue in Little Italy, so it fits. Okay, and also for those, the brand new Fired Up Sports Network.net website. We have gone through a little bit of a change. It's really a beautiful website. Went over a remake. Go on, check out our blogs. We have some amazing writers that provide content weekly. Some even try to get as much as up, on a daily tick as well. But yeah, make sure you go to check out the new website at www.firedupsportsnetwork.net. All right, Chris.
Time to bring it home.
It is time for your time to shine and for your time to get ridiculed by both me and Tommy and make fun of you about where you put certain people on this list and why you have left other people off.
Okay.
Tommy, do you have your tomatoes ready to throw at him?
Man, I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to throw some.
Chris, no pressure, buddy. No pressure.
No, none at all.
Right? None whatsoever. So I'm going to put it up on the screen. We'll take it away. So, Chris, here we go. This week's New York Yankees Power Rankings. Where did it go? There we go. Hold on. My computer's acting a little funny right now. There we go. All right, so you got a couple of new additions, but yeah, Chris, take it away.
Yeah, I'll start us off at 10. Isaiah Kiner for life. That was a guy that, beginning of the season, he wasn't Carlos Correa. He wasn't Trevor Story. We kind of didn't want him. We saw him as the stopgap guy. And every time I watch a game, it seems like he's coming across the plate when we need him the most. He's a guy that can get on base. He's a guy that is very solid defensively. And I feel like he's a guy that we've kind of overlooked this season. So I wanted to give him a little bit of love. Number 9, DJ LeMahieu. He's hitting .286 in June. He's got a home run, 6 RBIs, and he's been on base from the walk 6 times as well. He's a guy that gets on base. He's a guy that knocks guys in, and he's a guy that plays for contact. He's not a guy that's always going to hit a home run. He's not do or die. He doesn't live by the home run ball, and that's why I have him at number 9. Jose Trevino. We saw Higashioka play yesterday. He's gotten a little less playing time, but so far Trevino in June is hitting .385. He's got a home run and a triple. Who thought that Jose Trevino would get a triple in Yankee Stadium of all places? So that's why I have him at number 8. He's also been amazing defensively, as we talked about earlier. Jordan Montgomery, if you can see the trend, we have 4 of the 5 starters in this top 10. Jordan Montgomery, he's a guy that has 1 win on the season, but has pitched outstanding. Yes, he has the highest ERA in our starting rotation, but that highest ERA is a 3.05. So there's really not a lot more you could ask out of Jordan Montgomery. He's gotten not a lot of run support, and I feel like he is one of the he's done really, really well this season. All 5 of our starters end up in the top 25 in ERA so far, and Montgomery sits at number 7 on this list. Number 6, Luis Severino. You can go back to the Tampa game from a couple of weeks ago. He really only had the 2 mistakes with the home runs. He walked a couple guys, and then the bullpen ended up letting him down. But in his last start, he went 7 innings, only 1 hit, 10 strikeouts, and he just has played really, really well along with everybody else. Number 5, Anthony Rizzo. I have said it in the group chat. Nobody is ready for June Anthony Rizzo. He has, he's only hitting 208 in June so far. He's got 3 home runs. He's got 9 RBIs. He is hitting guys in. He is giving us runs, and he has been that stalwart, everyday guy at first base. Actually, he's going to be DHing tonight with LeMahieu at first, but I'll stand on that. Rizzo has been a very, very good piece, and in June so far, he's been able to knock the runs in when we needed them, and just to give us that extra boost. Number 4, Nestor Cortez. He's been top 3 for the first couple of weeks. The last start kind of bumped him out of that top 3. His start against the Angels, of course, he had that no-hitter going into the 6th inning, I believe. Oh, no, that was JMO. My fault. Either way, he went 7 innings.
Who's not on your list.
Yeah. We can talk about that when this is done. In his start against LA, he went 7 innings, 5 hits, and 7 strikeouts. But then last night, couldn't even get through 5 innings, 4 runs to 2 home runs, one of them to Buxton, and they're both no doubters, and only 3 strikeouts. So he falls out of the top 3. Hopefully, he's not coming back down to earth. Number 3, Garrett Cole. He moves up a slot. He did have that no hitter going into the 7th inning. He went 7 strong, only 2 hits, 9 strikeouts, and as we talked about earlier, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. Once he got out of his own head. Number 2, Clay Holmes, the guy we just talked about, the guy that has taken over the closing spot for this team. He hasn't really done much this month so far, just because we've just been playing in some blowouts. He did get that save, I believe, against LA. Other than that, he's just been outstanding. He's got a .34 ERA, 7 holds, 8 saves. He's 4-0 on the season. There's really not much more you could ask out of a guy that we didn't ask a lot of at the beginning of the season. And number 1, I mean, who else, right? Aaron Judge, league leader in home runs, top 6 in RBIs, MVP candidate, guy that we got to pay. What else could you ask of Aaron Judge? And he's going to be our number 1 for as long as he plays like this.
All right, Tommy, I'm going to let you get the first tomato. There's at least 3 guys that I think should be on this list.
I only have 10 slots. I
have 3 guys that should be in
over. I'm going to take one of your right now. There's no doubt that Jameson should be on this list.
Mm-hmm.
And I put Jameson on the list, and nothing against your boy Jose Trevino, but he's off that list.
385 in June.
Yeah, listen,
outstanding
he's been great,
defensively.
Tyone has been our second
best starter. ERA wise, second best starter.
Right there with Garrett Cole.
So Nestor has one best start. He's not top 2 no more.
Nestor's been my number 1 starter for the Yankees this year. I put Jameson Tyone just as important to this team right now as Garrett Cole. Not as good, but he's on there. I say he should be like number 6 on the list. So that's my 1 tomato. Joe, what about your tomato?
Joe's got no tomatoes. He lagged out. He disappeared. Yeah, we lost Joe. I mean, he had nothing wrong with the list. He was just trying to big it up. In terms of Trevino, listen, I get it. I do get it. I had JMO up there up until his last start. He was in my top 5. I could even check my list from last week where I think I had him at 5. It's just when I look at Jameson Tyone on this team,
This is the guy we made the move for, right?
Yeah. When I look at Jameson Taillon on this team, it's just I see it, but I don't see it. He's definitely a good starter. He's a great guy to have, but at the end of the day, I can trust the other 4 starters just as much, if not more than him.
I get it, but I tell you right now, going into a playoff series right now, playoff starter tomorrow. Cole got the ball in game 1.
Nestor's
in
gonna get 2,
and it's undoubtedly number 3.
I could put Severino at 3 just as easily though.
Game 2, and I don't know, man. I don't think that he gets the ball over Taillon right now if it started tomorrow. I think you see Sevy come out of the bullpen.
You think you see Sevy come
out
of
the playoffs, right?
Over someone
possibly if they only go to a 3-man.
Oh, I doubt they do a 3-man rotation with mate.
Yeah,
they would have to put both Montgomery and Severino in the bullpen at that point. But I'd see them keeping a 4-man.
Yeah, and then there'll be Severino. I just think that Taillon gets the 3rd guy right now with what's his face being 4th. I don't think Montgomery makes that list. Put a right now in the postseason.
Last week I had Jameson Taillon at 6.
All right, guys. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties. My computer died. Sorry about that.
All right.
That's fine. He got
tomatoes.
He got JMO in there over. Yeah, so
okay,
let's hear yours.
My question is this: how is Giancarlo Stanton not on this list, batting 300 for the season? How is Gleyber Torres not on here, based on his performance so far this season?
I'll tell you right now. The 3 guys that we've named so far, that was my 11, 12, and 13. I had Giancarlo at 11, Taillon at 12, and Torres at 13.
Listen. You had Rizzo come in from not being on the list to 5. You don't make that kind of jump. You start at the 10th spot and work your way up.
Listen. I'm going on since my last rankings. Who has done what they've done? And Rizzo has gotten the 3 home runs. He's hitting 215, and he's got the 9 RBIs, and he's just been a juggernaut defensively. Stan's been injured for most of the time that we've been doing this list. He's played 2-3 games, and if he continues to play like this, he'll be on the list next week. I couldn't, in good faith, since the last time I put out this list, have him in the top 10 because he just hasn't played.
Yeah, whatever. We'll let you slide.
What was that, Tommy? It's a tough list to make because it's a tough list to make because is it the past weeks? Is this from last Thursday to Thursday? This list, or is it
correct?
Most
yeah,
important?
It's every week. It's a weekly power rankings.
That's what I'm saying. So in the last week,
I see Stanton not being on the list then because he only played 3 games this week. So him not being on the list, I understand. But yeah, Taillon, and even take Torres off.
Taillon's last start wasn't great. It wasn't better than Severino's. It wasn't better than Montgomery's. It wasn't better than Cole's.
But Stanton's last home run went further than anyone else's. It hasn't landed.
It's still up there. Yeah,
it hasn't landed in Minnesota yet.
It's still in orbit. Yeah, I know. That's cool.
All right, boys.
And Joey.
What? And Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo needs to be at least number 3 on this show. On this list. At least number 3 on this list.
Oh, he's number 3. He's number 3 from the bottom, though.
I am operating a protest on this list, Chris. All right, guys. Another great episode here. Fired Up Sports Network Yank this. We want to thank everyone for watching. We will be back next Thursday, 6 o'clock, where you hear more of Chris's outlandish power rankings. Tommy may have a trade, but probably not, since we're still going to be the best team in baseball. And we're signing out from everyone here at Fired Up Sports Network. Let's leave them with the Mario Brothers. What do you think, guys?
Oh, no, absolutely.
One more time. All right, guys. Adios.
Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sick is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked. a treat. So hang on to your seat